What's up, YouTube? Pika VP here. Welcome on into the fam house. So, now that introductions are out of the way, let me address the YouTube peoples first. YouTube denizens, how are you? How's your morning? How's your night going? Hope you're getting some good rest. Let me start off by saying I appreciate all of you for being here. If you did manage to find me just, on YouTube alone, that beats the odds so much. And you'd have, maybe you do know, but that would make me feel super fortunate and very lucky to have just any of you find me on without any outside resource. However, let me also apologize for the awkward state of the setup right now. I know our intro, we started off with with a wider angle, more to look at besides just me, but unfortunately that was done on a webcam, and so we're on my phone now, and the reason for that is because the phone just has better resolution, just how it is. But if you'll bear with me, if you join me in on this journey, quality should improve with every single video that we do. So let me go address the Twitch peoples now. Chat, how are you doing? Welcome on in. Welcome back to the fam. You know what's up. First official YouTube video in the career. We've been at this for, I don't know what, maybe like a little more than a year and a half now. So let me just say thank you for being here. I hope this is as much a treat for you as it was for me to make. By the end of this video, I'm hoping that it gives all of you, even you people on YouTube, you nice people, a little more insight into who exactly it is that I am. And I hope it just helps to kind of personalize the streams more, helps to personalize whatever videos that we make in the future going forward. And it gives you kind of like this starting place for what you can expect from me. All right. Now back to the small camera again. Let me adjust the mic real quick here. All right, now let me just give a brief introduction as to who I am, and hopefully it kind of just sets that stage for all of this. I'm a second generation Asian. My parents, they came over from Vietnam, and well, by the time I came around, they set up shop in Florida, and I spent 10, 11 years there. And it was interesting, very interesting. Grew up on a farm, and then we moved over to Hawaii, and that's where I've been ever since. I'm 24 now. I did college, wasn't really for me. We did a year in computer science. We ended with a 0.747 GPA. Yeah, pretty bad. So then I went on and I went over to culinary school. Still didn't work out. I have 9 credits left to get my 2-year degree for pastry arts, and then on top of that, just a little more work, I could go get another 2-year degree in culinary. It just didn't work out. I dropped out. I did get a job in a kitchen though, so there's that. Yes. If you sense the plot twist, there is one. COVID. Out of a job. But in all that time, it wasn't that bad. With college, this second year and on, at least, the first year was kind of just explorative, as college is. But the second year on, I found my wife in college, or I guess you can say we found each other. And here's where the interesting thing comes in. Here's where it all kind of comes full circle. My wife, she comes up to me one day and she's just like, has anyone ever, told you that you're a little off, for lack of better words? It's been a while. I can't exactly remember the whole conversation. But yeah, that's how she came up to me. And so it turns out she suspected that I was on the spectrum. My whole life, high school, middle school, even elementary, everyone just thought I was quirky. But it turns out it has kind of opened me up to potential shortcomings that I do have and just kind of methods and other ways to get over that hill, so to speak. And now, here we are. We're streaming, and the reason why that we got into streaming is because I wanted to improve my social skills. Has it actually worked? Let me know. But that's kind of the good thing about being on the spectrum and getting a hobby. You get a lot of hyperfixations, and so a lot of the hyperfixations, coincidentally, they align themselves with streaming. And this is where the bulk of my content that I have to offer all of you is going to come in. Now I know what you're thinking. Is this just going to be another kind of tutorial videos channel? No. Yes. Maybe. It's a little bit of both. We're going to have a lot of tutorials. We're just going to have a lot of good old-fashioned info dumps. And we're going to be talking about everything and nothing. We're going to be talking about a lot of my hobbies because, well, hyperfixations. There's a lot of info dumping we can do there. So if any of these next few things that I'm about to list interest you, stick around. And the list is always open to just more. We're always in the mood to learn more. Now, this is what I have to offer all of you. I can offer you audio. I can offer you visuals. Maybe a little bit of random facts. Some coffee on the side. This is a cup, by the way. And to kind of top it all off, I can, for the most part, sum up these topics and emphasis on most, because we do still have that little bit of a kind of that speech barrier. But I can wrap up most of these topics in layman's terms. That was solved, by the way. I know I'm living under a rock. I'm bringing back up old memes and causing overcast because my light is right there. But that is something that I do feel a lot of YouTubers kind of gloss over. A lot of them are, you know, a little more educated in their fields, so they kind of skip those first two steps of the stairs, if you will, if you allow me that metaphor. And so it's my hope that when I am covering any of these topics or any other topics that you would like me to cover, that we can traverse the steps in totality from beginning to end. And I know the way I talk and the way that I'm going to put out a lot of my info isn't going to reach everyone, but I do hope that it's able to reach a lot of people. And well, for the most part, I just hope it offers kind of another perspective, a more all-encompassing perspective. And I know as we get through these videos, things might change. I also might end up, you know, becoming a little too educated in the topics I want to talk about. But if that ever does happen, this video right here, this is your license to kind of ring me back in. And I won't judge any of you for it. You know, just link this video, link it right here at that, well, I guess not right here, but timestamp it. I'll look at it, and well, if I have to, I'll just give myself a slap in the face and then we'll fix it. So anyways, all these topics will be touched upon in future videos, all in their own categories for all of you to view and learn at your own leisure. I know not everyone is capable, or maybe you just don't even want to learn 24/7. But it is my hope to kind of make whatever I know, whatever I learn from others, a little more accessible for those of you who do want to learn, for those of you who just need a new perspective, or maybe you just want to hear about something new. Now, anything that we do touch upon in these videos, you are more than welcome to bring to either my streams or any future videos, be they in the form of questions, conversation starters, or maybe you just want to bring up a new subtopic. Like, for example, I'm really into coffee. It was one of my first hyperfixations, but I actually don't know much about roasting, if I even know anything at all. So I'd be more than happy to learn what I can and bring that collection of knowledge to all of you. But if you are interested in talking to me about again, anything on Twitch, I will leave my link down below. Without further ado, that is going to wrap up this video. I hope it gave all of you just a little bit of insight into who I am, or at least set a base ground for what to expect from my YouTube content going forward. Let me know in the comments down below what you're looking forward to, or just tell me how your day was. But as is customary for those of you who do know me, please have a good morning, have a good night, get some great rest. I hope to see all of you in the future, either, here or elsewhere, and please make sure to stay safe. Hey everyone, Editor Pika here. So if you made it this far and you're wondering what this little extra bit is for, I made a mistake in the recording for just the whole thing. So I'm using OBS. I left all the filters on, so instead of messing with the mic in post, it caused a good amount of compression. So if you're wondering why it sounded kind of weird, that was the reason why. Also, if you did hear anything or anyone in the background, that was my wife. She sits right across from me and she was playing Final Fantasy. But besides that, please have a good one, everyone.